I'm Kris Hagan. For those who don't know, I've been a language coach for many years. In my career, I've taught a wide variety of people, from famous singers and radio presenters to doctors, uni students, and yes, even desperate housewives trying to find an English lover. I've finally decided to share my thoughts, tips and tricks with the world. Also check out my YouTube channel if you want to see my ugly mush. So let's kick off this podcast with a great jingle.
Doesn't matter where you are, in the car or at the bar. Here for you comes in your ears, another word for thanks is cheers. Here's the new kid from the block, here for you around the clock, sharing all his English tips. Kris
is an anagram of risk.
Kris.
I want to start off by saying hello to Deborah, who wants to go and live in Finland, to Francesco, who's probably working out or dressed like a rhubarb and custard sweet, Chiara, who's probably asleep, and to their mother, Simona. Now, speaking of mothers, today is Monday, the 3rd of May. Do you all agree? Now, remember, you have to say third with RD, not just the 3 May. The 3rd of May. So today is my mother's birthday. Now, even though I can't be there, I sent you a gift, thanks to britishcornershop.co.uk. Okay, so save me a bit of cake, and as we say here in Italy, happy birthday. So are you sitting comfortably, everybody, including these 4 people I've just mentioned? Hey, I said sitting, dirty-minded people listening to us on the loo. Well, as long as we can't see you, I don't care where you listen to us. Just remember to tell your friends we are here on your loo, in your shower, in your bed. Sounds quite pervy, but you get what I mean. Wherever you are, we are with you. This has turned out to be some kind of Hitchcock podcast. Let's get started before Jessica Fletcher arrives and somebody dies.
Jonathan, talk to us about food around the world. Jonathan, Canadian, the best export after Justin Bieber.
Now it's time for our little segment with Jonathan Nix, our resident food expert. Hello, Jonathan. How
Hi,
are
Kris.
you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm getting hungry.
Me too. Starving.
So let's talk about it.
Go on, what we're going to talk about when someone smashes a lot of bottles behind
Well,
us.
just because I know that you don't eat red meat or you're pure pescatarian.
I eat only tuna, sea bass, and salmon because I like sushi.
Oh, okay.
In fact, before, when you asked me in a previous podcast, what's your favourite food, is actually sushi.
Very good.
But I didn't think of anything that wasn't English. I thought of cheese onion pie. But there you go.
Very good.
Yeah. But red meat, no. I think the last time I ate it, I was engaged to a girl. Many years ago.
Many years ago,
And then she became vegetarian and made me vegetarian.
Very good. And it stuck.
It's stuck-ish, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, because here I want to talk about one of my favorite ways to prepare anything, and that's by skewering it and spinning in a circle.
You spinning in a circle.
I mean, initially that's
Is
how
it
it
like
started, I imagine.
Oh, okay.
In fact, the Italian version is wonderful. It's typically Brescian for our non-Italian speakers. That's just east of Milan, where we currently are recording. And it's spiedo, which literally means spit, which is the stick that you use to stick through meat, and then you rotate it. The novelty of this other method of preparation is you take it from the horizontal plane and you go 90 degrees up. And now what do you have? You've got one of 3 things, depending. You've got donair, you've got shawarma, or you've got, as we lovingly say it in Canada, gyros. Gyros.
Gyro?
Gyro.
Okay. A gyro is what you collect when you're on the dole in England, when you've got no job.
Oh, really? Yeah, culture. We're all learning today.
Like a kebab?
Yeah, a kebab, Kris. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about kebab.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so things on sticks, spinning, surrounded by heat. All the juices flow in and down and around, and then you have an electric knife, shave it off, put it in a pita, and give it to somebody. So donair is the Turkish version. And that actually came to Canada via Halifax. I'm not sure how long ago, but it's become the most popular version.
Doner kebab.
Yeah.
Okay. We just said doner kebab in England with our wonderful British accent.
Very good. Very good.
What's the difference? But this is the type of meat.
So that's the thing. It really depends on where you're from and perhaps the spices and sauce, because in the actual little bit of research I did for this, it turns out it's all lamb and beef. Imagine
lamb. Lamb and beef together.
Lamb and beef.
Why? Why can't they choose one?
Well, because
it's like your marble
the
cheese,
confluence
mixing
of flavor.
cheeses.
I mean, yeah, put 2 good things together, you have one other great thing. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how flavor is, Chris.
How marriage works.
I'm the expert here, Chris. Gosh.
Go on, tell me.
So,
Not because I'm not an expert of meat, as you can tell from my stupid questions which come out after.
so yes, doner is lamb and beef, but of course the Turkish variety of spices and sauces, again, in a Turkish pita. They call it just the Greek bread. The shawarma is the rest of the Middle East. And again, lamb, beef, particular spices, different types of sauce. We have the yogurt-based sauce. We have the spicy sauce. We have all the vegetables that you want. And the gyro is the Greek version, traditionally lamb and beef, as we previously mentioned. The interesting thing is all three exist in my hometown of Toronto because we have large Middle Eastern communities, we have large Turkish communities, we have a very large Greek community.
Really?
They all make it with chicken.
Ah, okay. Nobody is.
The main difference is the name of the sauce. I'm convinced it's all the same bloody sauce, whether it's tahini or tzatziki or whatever you want to call it. The only difference I can tell is in the Greek restaurant, you get to add feta cheese for $1. Goddamn, Alexandros, you've done a good job.
So a chicken kebab, basically.
Basically a chicken kebab, yeah. But from a Greek restaurant.
And the feta cheese. I like feta cheese.
Yeah, of course.
I could live off feta cheese. Halloumi I like as well.
Oh, halloumi's interesting. Deep fried.
Can't get it here, you know.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I have to illegally import it.
Well,
from
it was
the
my
UK.
molecular gastronomic friend who introduced me to halloumi.
It squeaks when you eat it.
Yeah, so it could be a good curd
In
substitute.
fact, before when you were
for your
talking about
poutine.
your prostitute thing, what was it called?
Poutine.
This. When you said about the squeaky cheese, I was thinking of halloumi. You could use this.
yeah.
I don't know why you can't get it here. You
But
can
I
get
feel-
feta here.
Yeah.
Feta's
Well,
international.
I've noticed Italians are against things that aren't Italian in the food sphere. So
I need to speak to my friend Panos and ask him to send me some halloumi.
there we go.
He's Panos Mouzarakis, if you're listening. Send me some halloumi.
Send us all some halloumi, please. Halloumi it to me.
In fact, last night I had a falafel kebab. I only had half of it, though. But pita bread, here they don't call it pita bread.
What did they call it?
No, I don't know. They called it last night when I said I'll have falafel in pita because for us it's normal.
Yeah.
And he said, I mean in a panini. No.
Well,
Not
I
in a
don't want the
sandwich.
bread, I want
In
it.
pita bread.
In Brescia, they charge extra for the pita.
You just get the meat.
Well, they call it a wrap. No, so you have the sandwich, which is
and a
their
piadina,
their
basically.
stale bread. It's not a piadina. It's just a typical oversized tortilla. Anyway,
What can we do? Have to change the world.
spin your meat, people. It's great.
Okay, then. If you enjoy kebab, there you go. Okay, thank you very much, and see you next week.
And now we're hungry. Thank you.
Now, I received some messages about the wonderful British phrases that I talked about last week, and so I thought, why not do some more? You can never have too many. Remember, you can always contact us via social media or even our email, chrishaganpodcasts@gmail.com, if you have a question for us. I want to say a big hello to all the new students that joined us this week who heard about my language institute from this podcast. Well, these podcasts. Glad to hear we are bringing the world together, like Eurovision, in many languages, not just English, because remember our school also teaches other languages, but I do the podcast only in English because I don't have time for 300 languages. Now head over to our shop to see what courses are on offer today. The link is in the bio. Now, what 5 fantastic British phrases do I have for you this week? Well, the first one is to chat up. Now, this one does mean to talk, but means to talk because you'd like a date with that person you're talking to. You find them attractive, and you'd like to take them to the cinema with some popcorn. Do people even do that these days? So to chat up means to chat with someone in a flirtatious way. Do you know what? Let's stick to flirting since I started with it. The second one is starkers. Peter saw me starkers. Now, this is true. To his surprise, to his shock, not surprise. Maybe you want to see someone starkers, but he didn't expect it that day. All I was doing was coming out to check if my brownies were ready. So what does starkers mean? Naked. So it's another word for naked. I saw him starkers, or Peter saw me starkers. Sorry, Peter. Now, connected to starkers, number 3, and me. Okay, number 3 is connected to starkers and me, not connected to starkers, number 3, and me. That was a bit weird, but okay. This next word sounds really cute. Ghoulies. 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 Don't you agree? It's really cute, no? It's so cute. Now, what do you think it means? testicles. It's a nice, cute name for testicles. Don't you think it's cute? Or is it just me? You could say, when he chatted her up, she kneed him in the ghoulies. Poor guy. Now, number 4. How's your father? If you answered, he's alright, thanks, you might get a strange look. As you know, in English, we sometimes ask questions by dropping any kind of grammatical constructions for questions, and we just raise the intonation. So here, how's your father? Actually means, would you like how's your father? Still confused? How's your father is another word for, drumroll, sex. Up for a bit of how's your father? No idea where this originated from, and I certainly don't want to know. Now, number 5. So to finish off, even finish off has a flirtatious meaning, but you can look that up yourself. It's too explicit for this podcast. What is a snog? S-N-O-G. No, it isn't a song, spelt incorrectly. A snog is a mixture between a snog and a song. That would be interesting to see if that could actually happen. So a snog is a not so romantic name for a kiss. I'm sure on programs like Love Island, all that kind of rubbish, they are snogging all the time. It's basically the same as French kissing, snogging, French kissing. It's all the same. But we say it with an English accent, not a French one. We don't say snogging.
She's from Australia,
Koala.
or is it maybe South Africa? She doesn't know either, but one thing's for sure, she makes business English sexy.
Like a kangaroo.
It's Kelly Lawrence.
In England, one of my favourite chocolate bars is the Boost. You ever tried it? Anyway, I said to Kelly, when people use basic vocab and it's really, really boring, isn't there a way to boost the vocab? And Kelly came across with some ideas. Well, not some ideas. She found some things because they exist already. You didn't create them. I don't think you created them, no?
No, I didn't create them.
These. You didn't patent these expressions. They already exist. So I asked her to give us some ways to boost our vocab with business English, because if you say some things in English, it comes out really boring and scholastic. And we don't want to be scholastic. We want to sound more English and a higher level of English. So Kelly, over to you. How are we going to boost our vocab without eating a chocolate bar called a Boost?
Oh, you have to stop talking about this chocolate bar because we have it in Australia as well, and I haven't had one in 2 years. Yeah, they're the best. Actually, my favorite. I forgot about it until this moment.
It's full of energy.
It's the best. It's also full of calories. I wouldn't recommend
but calories taste delicious, unfortunately. There's nothing we can do about it.
If you've never tried a Boost, 100% recommend it. It's the best.
Who makes Boost? This is really
Cadbury. It's definitely
Boost.
Cadbury, yeah.
Okay, so Cadbury's, if you're listening, we want some free boosts because we just promoted your chocolate bar for, I don't know, because I didn't start the timer, but for about 1 minute.
Okay, so look, let's go on with these
1 minute and 18
these
seconds.
expressions. So the first one was actually something that I was trained to do when I was working at a 5-star hotel. So it's also something that boosts vocabulary for
5-star hotel.
Yeah, in fact, the Intercontinental.
I hope you washed your hair
if you're listening,
if you're working there.
if you're listening, Intercontinental Hotel, give us some discounts. So it would be nice.
The Hilton is a bit. The Hilton at the minute is gone off.
It's not so nice.
No, used to be good.
So let's talk about it. I was trained to do this one because it just sounds better. Okay, instead of saying the word okay, say absolutely.
I say okay a lot.
Yeah, me too. But it depends, because if you're saying okay just in conversation, it's different. This is when someone asks you a question. They ask you if you can do something. Instead of saying, yes, okay, say absolutely.
Absolutely.
If someone says to you, for example, hey, can you help me with something like this? Can you give me a hand?
No.
You can say absolutely.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right.
I'm washing my hair.
So this one is really important. And it sounds a lot nicer. It makes you sound very energized and very polite. So the next one is, instead of saying maybe, say perhaps. You can use this all the time. Instead of saying, oh, maybe it's a bad idea, you can say perhaps it's a bad idea.
Like the song Perhaps, Perhaps, Perhaps. If it was maybe, wouldn't maybe,
sounds whiny.
Maybe. It's terrible, isn't it?
Maybe. Sounds
maybe.
whiny.
Like a whinging.
Exactly,
like a
it's a
whinging
whiny
child.
one.
Maybe.
Sounds much better, perhaps.
Makes you sound more English, more educated.
Exactly. In fact, these ones come down to a bit of education. It makes you sound more educated.
So now if people hear us saying maybe or okay in any other podcast, they're going to complain and say we're not educated now because we've just told them that it's not. It's
true.
an alternative. You don't have to sound educated 24 hours a day.
Exactly, good point. Okay, the next one is instead of saying but, you can say however.
But,
Sounds much better, exactly. It can help.
however.
You can say however. So, for example, you can say, oh, I really want to do that, but I don't have the time. You can say, I really want to do that, however, I don't have the time. Sounds a lot better. Okay. The next one is instead of saying I think, you can say I believe. We actually covered this one in a previous podcast about a previous section about formal English. It is more formal, but it also just sounds better. It boosts your vocabulary. Okay. So instead of I think, I believe. For example, I think I've explained this one. You can say I believe I've explained it.
In fact, people think formal English is really, really complicated. It's not that complicated.
No,
you
it's
just need
not.
to learn the other words.
Exactly. Okay, and another one going forward is the response "nice to meet you." Okay, you can actually boost it, make it a bit better, and say it's a pleasure to meet you.
If it is a pleasure.
Exactly.
Otherwise, just say nice to meet you if you're not really interested.
Good point. Nice to meet you
But
sounds
if
a
you're
bit
positive about the situation,
exactly, but nice to meet you does sound a little bit like you're not so excited. Okay, so you can say pleasure to meet you. And finally, on the same topic, when someone asks you how you are, don't just say I'm fine. It also sounds like you're really not fine.
you're not interested in giving an answer. Yeah.
Exactly. If you say
Fine's
I'm
not really
fine, I'm
positive.
fine. Instead, say I'm great. I'm fantastic. I'm good. Even good is better than I'm fine. Okay.
In fact, another example that Kelly doesn't know what I'm going to say now, but going forward is a way of boosting next. Kelly says going forward all the time. I've just realised going forward instead of next. But
Exactly.
it's a better way to say next.
Going forward.
We're not an
Exactly.
audition for Italia's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent. Anything else you want to say? Because we've still got 1 minute.
Well,
Well,
let's,
you've still got 1 minute. Go on.
I've got 1 minute more.
Sing a song. Sing us a
song. Well, I don't know. I think that these are also expressions that you can use across the English-speaking world. You can use in Australia, in England, in America. They're international in this sense. They're not very particular.
That's something that I wanted to ask you, in fact. British formal English, do other, like you're Australian or South African, depending on the day. But
It's true, actually.
it's true, yeah. In fact, depending on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, she alternates. 7 days a week. So who gets the majority? I don't know. So 7 days can't be equal. But if I use formal British English in Australia, would they still understand me?
Yes, I think they would understand your formal English better than your slang, for example. It's probably
That's not difficult. No, because some
easier.
students have actually said to me, but if we speak British formal English, is it different from American English? In fact, many people want to study American English because they think it's the one that's understood worldwide, internationally. Where in fact, it's the same thing anyway. Formal English in Britain or America or in Australia is all the same.
It's the same, exactly. It's understood interchangeably. There may be a few expressions that aren't really used because they're a bit old English, let's say. Something maybe that the Queen would say that you wouldn't hear even in a business setting. Also because remember
But in
that...
the Crown, yes.
Yeah, in the Crown, of course.
Yes.
But remember that the workplace in the English culture is a lot less formal than it used to be in the past. So we're not going to say Mrs. and Mr. whatever when we're referring to our boss. That's also changed. And with that, a lot of very formal English has gone out the window.
In fact, when people call me sir, I want to slap them.
Especially if they say dear sirs. Don't use this one.
Okay, thank you very much, and we'll see
Thank
you
you,
next
goodbye.
week.
Now we love business English, oh thanks so.
Now, only this week I was asked by a student which is the correct pronunciation of Neither. I'm not going to say it because you'll know which is the correct pronunciation, let's say. But now in the UK, people use both the American and the British versions of the pronunciation. But do you know which is which? I bet some Brits don't even know. I'm going to tell you now. So you'll probably know there is neither and neither. Which is British and which is American? Is neither British or neither British? Neither is American and neither is British. Neither. Quick way to remember is make it longer. Neither. Okay. And so you guessed it, it's also the same for the positive. Either. Either is British and either is American. Let's have a look at another word which is pronounced differently between American and British English. What about this word? Leisure. I'll say both, and you tell me now which is British and which is American. Leisure, leisure. Leisure is British, and leisure is American. So this time it's actually inverted. The longer one, let's say, the longer pronunciation is actually the American one this time. And one more just for a laugh, and I say this because people laugh at me when I say the British version of this word. This word is schedule. What did I spell? Did I spell schedule or schedule? Both, obviously, because that's what we're doing now. So schedule, shed, is British. Schedule. And American is schedule. Schedule. So yes, there is a shed, that wooden house at the bottom of your garden to keep your lawnmower and tools in the British pronunciation of the word schedule. Just so you remember the difference.
Introducing Mimi Melendez, mixing cocktails from Miami to New York. People blame her for getting legless just cause she mixed it. She didn't pour it down your throat.
No, she didn't.
Remember to leave her a tip.
Mimi's back, and what are you going to tell us about today?
So today we're going to talk about some of the skills that you need to be a bartender, because I don't know how many times I have heard so many people say that anyone can bartend and anyone can serve drinks and anyone can do it. What's so special about you?
Anybody can drink them, but maybe not serve them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So today I just want to give a quick rundown of the skills that you need to be a good bartender. Okay, so that's the difference.
It doesn't include dancing on the bar.
Not always.
Not always.
Not always.
Go on then, tell us, how can we be a better bartender?
Okay, let's go. Let's dive right in. So the first thing is knowledge of different spirits, how to pair them, their history, density, measurements, consistency. Okay, so all of these things are things that people don't think about that go into bartending that are really important. Not only do our customers want to talk about these things, they ask us questions about these, but it's really important when you're trying to create new recipes or you're trying to suggest something to a customer. You need to have this down. The next thing is you need to be able to multitask. This is something I think most people know, that bartenders have to be able to do this. You have to be able to take 10 drink order while taking a service order while doing so many other things at the same time. A good bartender always has their two hands on task.
This is why women are normally better.
That's right.
Because you can multitask.
That's right. So another skill that I think people already know is that we need to be able to do math and figure out prices and addition on the fly, which it means
quickly.
That's right. So we don't always have the time or the ability to go to our register or our POS to figure things out. How much is someone's complete order? So we have to be able to do math in our head of the different drinks that people are ordering and their tab.
Drinks are not always €10. It would be easier if they were.
It would be amazing if that were the case. I worked at places where some of the drinks had change. So like a drink may be $10.82.
Why?
Or $5.59.
Never understood this.
It's crazy, and it actually makes service slower when you do
round it down, maybe.
That's right.
Round it
That's
down.
right. Round down, people. Okay, you got to do math in your head. You also have to have a good memory. You have to remember tabs, faces, recipes, and customer preferences if you want to be a good customer. I mean, a good bartender. A good bartender. All right. The other thing is how to detect
your memory stuff.
I know, right? Have a good memory. Wait, what was I saying? The other thing is detecting counterfeit money. This has gotten me out of a lot of trouble, and I've seen other bartenders get in trouble. Yes, being able to detect it.
Okay.
That's right. Because
you make it yourself.
Because I make it myself. So,
best way.
So yes, you have to be able to figure that out in the moment. Sometimes in the dark, because your bar could be a dark place to work. So make sure you're able to know that. The other thing is, which is automatic, is you have to have a personality. You have to be likable, funny, but you also have to be down to earth. So being a jerk behind the bar isn't going to get you very far.
Not really, no.
The other thing, which is maybe a little controversial, is that I want to say that you have to be attractive. But really what's important is that you have to look like you spent some time on your looks, okay?
Take pride in your appearance.
That's right. People sometimes look like they just crawled out of bed and are at a restaurant working. You're right. And so
If
maybe
they're
they're
clopening.
That's what I was gonna say. If they did a clopening shift,
Get me.
they may look a little rough, but nobody wants to see a bartender who looks like they just
Haggard.
crawled from under a rock, or they don't care about themselves. They don't wear, clothes that look nice, that are clean. So just dress attractively and take pride in what you look like. Like you said, fix yourself. Mm-hmm. The next
Buy a
thing,
mirror.
Buy a mirror. Use it. Mm-hmm. The next thing is you have to seem interested in your patron, and you have to create an experience for them. It's not about just, I'm going to pour some liquids in a cup and just give it to them.
And then you pay.
And then you go into a corner and spend the rest of the time on your phone and completely ignore your customer.
Which happens a lot, unfortunately, recently.
It does. So you have to seem like you're interested in them, have some conversation with them. Obviously, they're not always interested in talking to you, but at least make sure that you're thinking about their experience at your bar. The other thing, you have to be fast, nimble, and in good shape. I'm not talking about size here. Size doesn't really matter.
Or going to the gym.
What matters is that you're fast and you're able to multitask and be nimble behind the bar, especially if you're working with other people. You have to know how to work in a team and also work alone, which is important. And then the last thing is that you have to be energetic, because you have to be ready to work long shifts, odd hours, and those famous clopening shifts.
I have to teach you what clopening is.
I tell you.
Mimi Menendez, a mixologist.
Now, today I used this word that I'm about to tell you while I was teaching. Do you know what it means? Let me put it in a sentence, then ask you. If I ask you, when did you last canoodle? What am I asking you? Right, another example. Stop canoodling. Now, it does sound like a mix between drawing, doodling, and some kind of food. I love tucking into a good canoodle. Well, you'd be wrong. It isn't food, and definitely doesn't mean drawing food, that's for sure. The definition of to canoodle, C-A-N-O-O-D-L-E, is kiss and cuddle and even fondle. Romantic couples canoodle when they're at the start of their relationship, I'm guessing, before they find out that their new partner likes to cut his or her toenails in the sink. So when people are getting a little physical romantically, hopefully not in front of you on a park bench, get a room. They're canoodling.
Now it's time for Laura, straight to you by your Skype. She's at home in Nashville, couldn't find a flight. Laura likes to listen to the radio, but when it comes to music, she prefers it live. Laura, give for 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 Laura. Laura, give for Laura, give for Laura, give for Laura, give for.
Welcome, Laura.
Thank you, Kris. It's been a great week. How are things over there?
Well, for everybody else, I'm sure this week has been a good week here in Italy because things are open again. Not fully, but partially.
I hear you are hard at work on writing a new book, and I cannot wait to see how that turns out.
Yeah, the deadline has passed now, so let's hope, fingers crossed, it'll be out soon. I'll let you all know, obviously. How are things over there?
Things are good here. I am back going to shows again. I've gotten to see a couple more shows since I talked to you last week.
Lucky girl.
I've got 2 shows this weekend to go to and a play.
Ooh.
So I'm very, very excited. Things are starting to look a little more normal around here. Of course, this is all new. It wasn't like this for the last, 14 months or so.
A long time.
When the pandemic hit the U.S. in March, bars and concert venues across the country closed, along with everything else.
Yeah, sadly.
At every level of the music industry, from Justin Bieber to up-and-coming bands like the Foxies, tours and concerts and shows were indefinitely delayed or outright canceled. I myself still have tickets floating around somewhere out there for a 60s band tour festival that was rescheduled finally for this coming August. Boz Scaggs concerts rescheduled for October, and I've got squeeze tickets that still haven't even rescheduled a date for Nashville.
If you want, I'll come and squeeze you, don't worry.
And along with all these musicians that we love to see and hear, a whole allied profession was displaced during the last year because of these canceled shows. The roadies.
Yep.
A small bar show requires at least like a sound man and someone who knows something about the lighting. Someone had to make some phone calls and maybe drop off an album or send some files to the venue to elicit interest in the band and get them booked. Ramp that up 100 times for a full professional tour. Truck drivers, sound engineers, lighting and rigging professionals, instrument technicians, luthiers, hair, makeup, costume artists, production managers, tour managers, merch guys and gals.
So many.
There's a lot of people who abruptly lost their jobs.
Yeah.
And in the arts, most people don't have salaries,
Nope.
insurance, or retirement funds. Extend out from there, and you have the people who make and sell the instruments.
Yeah.
Audiologists like me ordering custom hearing protection and in-ear monitors for musicians.
Oh, yeah, never thought about that.
There's a whole professional culture around live shows, and it was hit so hard during the pandemic.
Yeah, many of my friends, also my students, are very, very famous or professional singers here, and they've not been able to do anything. I was even today, about 25 minutes ago, I was speaking to one of my friends / students, okay, who basically said they've done nothing for over a year now. And I know many people who were like sound engineers, things like this, who have had to change careers. Some of them even took up a second job.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And these folks don't get the attention or the glory. They just go to work and do their thing so their boss can look good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Truly unsung heroes.
Definitely.
Jackson Browne wrote an homage to the roadies many years ago. Have you ever heard the song Loadout?
Nope, but I'll go and check it out for sure.
It's the perfect description of a roadie's life. So these folks who work so hard so that we can have a fun evening out with friends, enjoying the magic of our favorite music, kind of got left behind here in the U.S.
Yeah, also, yeah.
There were unemployment benefits for people who worked regular jobs because their employers paid into the unemployment system for them.
True.
Most music industry people are paid cash for jobs with no taxes held out, and they didn't qualify for any assistance.
Yeah.
I saw friends leave Nashville or move in with family and friends because they literally did not have any more money to pay the rent.
Yeah, it's sad and depressing, yeah.
The highest grossing tour of 2020 was Elton John's. I mean, you can imagine how many people it takes to support his huge shows.
Yeah, not just 3.
That tour made $85,000 and then shut down.
Jeez.
That's it for the whole year.
Oh,
$85,000.
God.
One moderately known country artist, Robert Earl Keen, keeps a staff of 10 employees.
Right.
While he had to reduce their salaries during the time off, he ensured that they kept some income and health insurance this whole time
Yeah, good.
by mortgaging his own home and applying for government assistance.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
His story is wonderful but rare.
Thank God that there are some people out there, these professionals and everything, who actually have a heart and
Exactly.
can share their money in times when we need to. I know in some countries there were funds, but not all.
Enter the National Independent Venue Association. NIVA was formed in mid-April of 2020 to rectify the disconnect between government, the public, and the live music industry. NIVA is made up of venue owners from all over the country, and they got straight to work saving themselves.
Okay. Yeah.
By April of last year, it was clear that about 90% of the country's venues were in danger of closing permanently. And we still hadn't fully grasped the extent or the duration of the pandemic at that point.
Many here have closed.
They began with the NIVA Emergency Relief Fund, with which urgent bills were paid. I and millions of other music fans in the country donated $25 here, $100 there to help in the efforts, and the money was well managed. I mean, it wasn't enough to keep small independent venues from losing their businesses. More grassroots campaigning ensued, and in June, 600 artists, including Dave Grohl, Mavis Staples, Lady Gaga, Andre 3000, Willie Nelson, Robert Plant, Earth, Wind & Fire, Casey Musgraves, Leon Bridges, Jay Leno, and Jeff Foxworthy, issued a letter to Congress asking their legislators for help.
Hey, it's good to see the big artists helping the smaller artists and also the staff. I mean, if it wasn't for these people, the sound engineer, the lighting technicians, etc., then these major artists would have no concerts.
Oh,
it's only
yeah.
right that they help out.
By July, 1 million supporters, including myself, had sent letters to their legislators asking for their support. The bipartisan Shuttered Venues Operators Grant Program,
Well, that's not easy to say.
originally and popularly known as the Save Our Stages Act, it's a lot simpler,
Definitely.
was lovingly crafted and finally passed in December. As the country is reopening now and concerts are being booked, many venues are not yet at full capacity for safety reasons. But that means that they are still not making enough money to survive. NIVA is still out there helping. I went to a show at a locally owned venue last week, and I spoke with the owner. The precautions taken made me feel very safe, but he pointed out that if they don't get back to higher capacity shows, they're not out of the woods yet. I invited him to brunch the next day, but he said he had to fill out paperwork for more assistance to get his 2 small venues through another period of reduced revenue. Thank God it's available for them.
Yeah, better late than never, I suppose. Also, you don't know what's around the corner. Might come back again.
Yeah, it's still pretty scary. And the same goes for the touring industry. So many talented friends of mine have been delivering groceries or driving for Uber, trying to make ends meet for the past year. I spoke with a friend yesterday who has spent the majority of his adult life on the road supporting tours. He recently found some work as an on-site manager for an outdoor venue, But most of last year, he and his wife were living on her income. She has a 9-to-5 job, but when bars reopened, even she began moonlighting as a bartender to make ends meet.
Yeah, I can't even remember a difficult time so bad as this in the past. And I'm old.
But the story will have a great ending. When I talked to my friend, he told me that in the past 12 days, so many national acts have contacted him to begin planning huge tours that he and his company can't keep up.
Yeah, fantastic.
So that's really looking up. I was excited to hear that. I know that you guys in England, too, are a little behind the U.S. in reopening, and that's not 100% a bad thing. But as things get back toward normal, I hope everyone thinks a little differently about what it takes to produce that concert that you so easily enjoy. If anything good can come out of this pandemic, it's that we appreciate each other more.
Yeah, I think this has brought a lot of people together in ways that they never would have expected before.
The founders of NEVA feel like we'll be able to get back to full capacity shows around Labor Day. And I hope the country doesn't do anything stupid to postpone that.
Fingers crossed.
Meanwhile, I'm buying tickets to all kinds of shows.
So you're excited to get back out there then? I know you love your live music.
Of course, I love it. It's my favorite thing to do. But also, I'm a little more free with buying tickets farther out or buying extra seats. An extra $25 for me here or there isn't a terrible struggle because I'm lucky. But for these venues and artists and the teams who support live shows, it could be a big help. I hope Italy gets that opportunity again soon, too.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting bored stuck at home all the time. It's terrible.
Keep me posted. Have a
Will
great
do.
week, and I will talk to you soon.
See you next week. Bye.
Now we know something more about music. Thank you, Laura.
So now, like I said at the start of this week's podcast, we are wherever you are. When you want us, of course. Even whilst canoodling. With that image in mind, here's the jingle. See you next week.
Doesn't matter where you are, in the car or at the bar. Here for you comes in your ears, another word for thanks is cheers. Here's the new kid from the block, here for you around the clock. Shining all his English tips, Kris
Is an anagram of risk.
Kris